Thank you. Colleague Korwin-Mikke, 1 minute.
Senior, I have voted against because I don't agree with the method the changes are introduced. Especially, I agree absolutely with you, Mr. Chairman, that the rules cannot determine what the ex-deputies are doing after they stop to be deputies, but they can lobby. But why cannot I speak against European Union and try to destroy European Union, and I am losing my benefits? It is incoherent. Moreover, I think European Union must be destroyed. Thank you very much.
Shall I think now? Janusz Korwin-Mikke.
We voted against. We voted against the budget, robbing the people and giving great amounts of money to some abstract projects is a criminal act. Throwing billions away to fight the global warming is a criminal act. And moreover, I think the European Union should be destroyed.
Vielen Dank.
Thank you. We can note amusement in the minutes.
Once again, I'd like to ask all members to respect their speaking time. We're way beyond time. Our next speaker is Korwin-Mikke. 1 minute.
50 years ago, 40 years ago, Hong Kong was flourishing because it was British colony. There was no democracy. And all the member states of European Union are democracies. And we are all in a moral and economic ruin. Therefore, I consider that European Union must be destroyed.
Vielen Dank, dass Sie sich an die Zeit gehalten haben.
Thank you for keeping to your speaking time.
Mr. Korwin-Mikke.
Thank you. We shall vote for the resolution, but I don't understand why Romania don't incorporate simply Moldova, saving us the problem of negotiations. Historically, present Republic of Moldova is a Bessarabia. It is half of Moldova. The other half of Moldova is 1/3 of Romanian Republic, and it would be just joining the Moldova unification. Of course, the free people of Moldova can vote for unification in the referendum, as free people of Crimea voted to join the Russian Federation. Moreover, I think the European Union should be destroyed.
Now, Mr. Korwin-Mikke for 1 minute.
Mr. Chairman, if one wants to combat the climate change, then I propose to fight the global warming in spring and the global cooling in the autumn. It makes exactly the same sense. The global warming is a cyclic process, only the cycle is longer. By the way, the Earth needs more carbon dioxide and more warmth for plants to grow and make the Earth more green. Is the combating the global warming a nonsense? No. No, because the real aim of its proponents is to stop the economic growth. You should read about the zero growth theory. They believe in it and they achieve their goal. The development of Europe is zero. When Europe will be liberated from the occupation of the European Union, those people will be unmasked, I hope, persecuted and duly sentenced. Moreover, I think that if the Europe is to survive, the European Union must be destroyed.
I now give the floor to Mr. Korwin-Mikke.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Donald Tusk has said that there is no single recipe to improve the situation of Europe. He is wrong. There is one. When Poland has been occupied by the Moscow-oriented socialists, its rate of growth was 1%. When it got free, it was 8%. Now, under the occupation of Brussels-oriented socialists, it is once again 1%. It is slightly better than the rest of the countries occupied by the European Union, but slightly less than Belarus. What must be done? Our enemy is not in Moscow. Our enemies are in mosques, in the mosque of Paris, in the mosque of Marseille. What we should do is to reject the socialism, to abolish income taxes, ruining the industry, to liquidate all the social benefits, attracting to the Europe the worst elements and demoralizing all the Europeans, to reintroduce death penalty. We cannot win the war when they kill us, and we cannot kill them. In fact, if you are to survive, we must reject all the acquis communautaire. Therefore, I think the European Union must be destroyed.
Herr Bütikofer, bitte sehr.
Mr. Bütikofer.
Herr Präsident, ich bin
President, I believe that the statement, "Our enemies are in the mosque," is so strong that I would ask you to react to it.
Kollege Bütikofer, Sie
Thank you very much, Mr. Bütikofer. You can be rest assured that the statements made by a colleague is something that I will investigate very carefully indeed. I think they are shameful.
Onorevole, poseł Janusz Korwin-Mikke, niezrzeszony
Janusz Korwin-Mikke, non-attached. Thank you very much, President.
Europeans like small children. I would like to inform Mrs. Kalinina Łukasiewicz that you are already grown up, and every European should be allowed to buy in every pharmacy any medicine he wants, whether the government wants it or not, providing the pharmacy wants to sell it to him. And if Mrs. Łukasiewicz maintains that she knows better than me what is good for me, so it is not even fascism, it is much worse, it is socialism. And moreover, I think that European Union must be destroyed.
Dziękuję, panie pośle.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker for 1 minute is Mr. Korwin-Mikke.
Dziękuję, pani przewodnicząca.
Thank you very much, Madam President. The government cannot solve any problem, it can only create problems. Ronald Reagan said that. We keep hearing that we have more and more problems, maybe because G7 meets very often, or maybe not. However, there's a mountain of problems appearing in front of us. We heard that violence is not acceptable. Well, there was a case in the room when the Madam President asked someone to leave the room. She did not use violence, so she had to allow Mr. Timmermans to speak without the order being carried out. Well, people who use violence, they will always prevail because of the violence that they use. That's why ISIS is winning. So only idiots can renounce violence faced with someone who only operates on the principle of violence. I think European Union should be destroyed.
Our next speaker.
Mr. Korwin-Mikke. Mr. Korwin-Mikke.
Thank you, Madam President. The stupidest order in the world, democracy, is praised in this House ever. But when you saw in Greece how democracy works, no one was saying that it was because of democracy, the fault of democracy. Now you're trying to reach an agreement with the people. Well, people don't understand why democracy is a bad system. People don't understand why Margaret Thatcher called the European Union a sick idea of lefties. But people know they are not governed well. It doesn't matter what happens in Greece. You will see the Grexit, you will see Fraxit, we'll see who will be the last to switch off the light. One thing I'd like to say, I think the European Union should be destroyed. Thank you.
Mr. Pospisil. Mr. Pospisil.
The resolution urges the adoption of a directive for the balanced representation of men and women on boards. Now, this is a piece of EU legislation that allows sanctions, such as the dissolution of a company, just because it hasn't succeeded in reaching the arbitrary target imposed by the European Union.
And I have met a lot of resistance. That resistance is mainly from older men. So I'm not taking it anymore. I want equality also in this chamber, by the way. Quotas tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We accept, I understand, that women and men have equal skills and talent. Unfortunately, when I am looking at TV, there is a program, Extreme Sports, and there are no women. In all the extreme sports, there are no women. I think you should demand that there will be at least 40% of women jumping on the motorcycles and so on. And moreover, there is a list of 100 best chess players. We should demand that at least 40% of the best chess players should be women. And of course, if necessary, we should change the rules of chess, because it's
Could you please ask a question?
to have at least 40% of women on the list of best chess players. Thank you very much. What do you think about it?
Frau Kollegin.
Madam.
I have to admit that I did not really understand what your question was, but however, if you try to refer to women maybe being less talented in chess than men, then I simply have to say that you are not right.
Now the floor to Mr. Korwin-Mikke.
All the time about the diversity, that our parliament is to defend diversity. But all the time, if there is a voting, we are voting for unification of everything. You are not for diversity, but for unification. This time it is Ein Reich, ein Volk, ein Ticket. Thank you very much.